Welcome back to Coin's Numismatic series, where hidden treasures, real values, and powerful history come together in every coin. Today's episode is packed with excitement because we're uncovering 5 Kennedy half dollars that many collectors overlook, yet they hold fascinating stories, unique market behavior, and surprising potential. If you've ever wondered how modern-era coins can still become valuable, collectible, and historically important, you're about to find out. Stay with us, because these 5 coins might change the way you look at your collection or even the change in your pocket. 1974 Kennedy half-dollar coin without mint mark and fine condition. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark represents an important chapter in the post-silver era of United States coinage. By 1974, the half-dollar had fully transitioned into a copper-nickel-clad coin, and silver was no longer part of regular circulation issues. Although the denomination was still produced in large quantities, the public's everyday use of half-dollars had continued to decline. Many Americans preferred smaller denominations for convenience, which caused half-dollars to accumulate in bank vaults, vending machine reserves, and collectors' holdings rather than circulating widely. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During this period, Philadelphia coins traditionally did not carry a mint mark, which sometimes causes confusion for new collectors who assume the coin is missing something. In reality, the lack of a mint mark is exactly how Philadelphia issues are identified for many years in U.S. coinage history. The mintage for the 1974 Philadelphia Kennedy half-dollar exceeded 201 million coins, making it a relatively high production issue. However, high mintage does not always mean low collector interest. Many of these coins were stored in large quantities and never saw heavy circulation, which preserved a significant number of examples in higher grades. At the same time, circulated coins in fine condition offer collectors an affordable way to own a piece of mid-1970s American monetary history. Design features remain consistent with the classic Kennedy half-dollar appearance first introduced in 1964. The obverse displays a strong left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy designed by Gilroy Roberts. The word Liberty arcs along the rim, while In God We Trust appears split near the neckline. The date 1974 sits prominently below the portrait. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, features the presidential seal with a heraldic eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. Surrounding the eagle are stars representing the states, along with the inscriptions United States of America and half-dollar. Because the coin is copper-nickel clad, the edge reveals a visible copper core sandwiched between outer layers of nickel alloy. This layered construction distinguishes it from earlier silver issues, which have a solid silver edge appearance. In fine condition, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar shows moderate and even wear. Kennedy's hair above the ear and the cheekbone typically show some flattening, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse may appear slightly smoothed. Despite this wear, all major design elements remain clear and attractive. The lettering is bold, the portrait is recognizable, and the coin retains good overall eye appeal for a circulated example. Market value for a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition is generally modest because the coin contains no precious metal and has a high mintage. Most examples trade slightly above face value, especially when sold individually or in small groups. However, collector interest still supports steady demand, particularly among those building complete date and mint sets of Kennedy half-dollars. Prices can increase for coins with strong eye appeal, original surfaces, and minimal damage. Where the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar becomes far more interesting is in the area of errors and varieties. The large production volume created opportunities for minting mistakes, and collectors actively search for unusual examples. Known errors include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and rotated dies. Some coins exhibit doubled die characteristics, where parts of the lettering or date appear doubled due to die misalignment during production. These varieties can command significant premiums, especially when the doubling is bold and clearly visible. Another exciting category involves major mint errors, such as missing clad layer coins. These pieces appear thinner and lighter than normal and often show the copper core exposed on one side. Such dramatic errors can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition and collector demand. High-grade, uncirculated examples of the 1974 Philadelphia Kennedy half-dollar are also popular with registry set collectors. Even though many coins were saved, truly flawless examples with strong luster, sharp strikes, and minimal contact marks are still challenging to find. Certified coins in higher grades can bring surprisingly strong prices compared to typical circulated pieces. Collector interest in the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is driven by its affordability, availability, and potential for discovery. It serves as an excellent entry point for new collectors while still offering challenges for advanced collectors who seek top-grade examples or rare errors. It also represents an era when the half-dollar was transitioning from a circulating coin into a denomination primarily collected and stored rather than spent. Beyond its market value, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar reflects the cultural and economic landscape of the mid-1970s. It connects collectors to a time of changing consumer habits, inflation concerns, and evolving monetary policies. Even in fine condition, it carries historical significance and educational value for anyone interested in modern American coinage. 1992 Kennedy half-dollar coin with mint mark P and fine condition. The 1992 Kennedy half-dollar with the P mint mark marks an important point in the modern era of U.S. coinage, highlighting the renewed involvement of the Philadelphia Mint in marking its coins. Beginning in 1980, the Philadelphia Mint started using the P mint mark on most circulating coins, which made identification easier for collectors and added a new layer of variety to modern issues. By 1992, the Kennedy half-dollar had become primarily a collector coin rather than a widely circulated denomination, though it was still produced for general circulation and institutional use. The early 1990s were a period of technological improvements in minting processes, resulting in more consistent strikes and improved overall quality compared to earlier decades. The 1992 P. Kennedy half-dollar reflects these advancements, often displaying sharper details and cleaner surfaces even in circulated grades. The mintage for the 1992 Philadelphia Kennedy half-dollar was approximately 4.6 million coins, which is significantly lower than many earlier clad issues. This relatively low mintage contributes to its increased collector interest, especially among those assembling complete date and mint collections. Because half-dollars were not commonly used in daily transactions by this time, many of these coins entered storage or were distributed primarily through banks and collectors. Design features remain consistent with the traditional Kennedy half-dollar appearance. The obverse features the left-facing portrait of President Kennedy with Liberty along the rim. "In God We Trust" split near the neckline, and the date 1992 below. The P mint mark appears above the date, identifying the coin as a Philadelphia issue. The reverse displays the presidential seal eagle with shield, arrows, olive branch, and surrounding stars, along with the inscriptions United States of America and half-dollar. In fine condition, the 1992 P. Kennedy half-dollar shows light to moderate wear, though many examples retain strong detail because they saw limited circulation. Kennedy's facial features remain well-defined, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse show only minor smoothing. The coin's copper-nickel-clad edge reveals the copper core, consistent with modern composition. Market value for a 1992 P. Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition is typically above face value due to its relatively low mintage and collector demand. While it does not contain silver, its scarcity compared to earlier high-production years gives it added appeal. Prices vary based on condition, eye appeal, and market demand, with higher premiums for coins that are clean, evenly worn, and free from damage. Uncirculated examples and certified high-grade coins often command significantly higher prices. Errors and varieties again add excitement to this issue. Modern minting processes reduce the frequency of dramatic errors, but they still occur. Collectors have discovered off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and occasional doubled die characteristics. Because the overall mintage is lower, any confirmed error variety can attract strong interest and premium pricing. Missing clad layer errors and major striking anomalies are especially desirable. Another important aspect of collector interest in the 1992 P. Kennedy half-dollar is its role in modern set building. Many collectors focus on completing full date and mint collections from 1964 to the present, and lower mintage modern issues like this one can become surprisingly challenging to locate in top condition. Registry set competition further increases demand for high-grade certified examples. Historically, the 1992 P. Kennedy half-dollar reflects a time when coin collecting had become more organized and technology-driven, with improved grading standards, third-party certification, and increased access to numismatic information. It represents the modern face of the Kennedy series and shows how even relatively recent coins can develop collectible value and long-term interest. Collector interest in the 1992 P. Kennedy half-dollar continues to grow as more collectors recognize its lower mintage and modern scarcity. It appeals to a wide audience, including beginner collectors who appreciate its affordability, advanced collectors who seek high-grade examples, and error hunters who enjoy searching for unusual varieties. Ultimately, the 1992 P. Kennedy half-dollar demonstrates that valuable and interesting coins are not limited to the distant past. Even modern issues can tell compelling stories, reflect technological progress, and offer meaningful opportunities for collectors. Whether held for its historical context, its relative scarcity, or the thrill of potential discovery, this coin remains a strong and engaging part of the Kennedy half-dollar series and a worthy addition to any collection. 1993 Kennedy half-dollar coin with mint mark D and fine condition. The 1993 Kennedy half-dollar with the D mint mark represents a period when the half-dollar had firmly transitioned into a primarily collector-oriented denomination rather than a coin widely used in daily commerce. By the early 1990s, vending machines, parking meters, and most retail transactions favored smaller denominations or electronic payment systems, leaving half-dollars largely confined to banks, casinos, transit systems, and collectors' albums. Despite reduced circulation demand, the United States Mint continued producing Kennedy half-dollars to meet institutional needs and maintain continuity in the nation's coinage program. The Denver Mint produced approximately 11.8 million Kennedy half-dollars in 1993. Compared to the massive mintages of the 1960s and 1970s, this figure is relatively modest, contributing to increased collector interest in modern-day Kennedy halves. Lower production numbers mean fewer coins are available for collectors, especially in higher grades, which can gradually drive premiums over time as demand remains steady. Design features on the 1993 D. Kennedy half-dollar remain faithful to the iconic design introduced in 1964. The obverse displays the left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy by Gilroy Roberts. Liberty arcs along the rim, while In God We Trust appears split across the field near Kennedy's neckline. The date 1993 is positioned below the portrait, and the D mint mark sits just above the date, clearly identifying the coin as a Denver issue. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, features the presidential seal with a heraldic eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and strength. A ring of stars surrounds the eagle, and the inscriptions United States of America and half-dollar frame the design. The coin is struck in copper-nickel clad composition, and the edge reveals a visible copper core between the outer layers of nickel alloy. This modern composition ensures durability and cost efficiency while maintaining a bright, silver-like appearance on the surfaces. In fine condition, a 1993 D. Kennedy half-dollar shows light to moderate wear. Because many of these coins saw limited circulation, fine-grade examples often retain strong design details. Kennedy's hair, cheek, and jawline show slight smoothing, while the eagle's breast feathers and wing tips display minor wear. All lettering remains sharp and readable, and the overall appearance is typically clean and attractive for a circulated coin. Market value for a 1993 D. Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition is usually above face value due to its lower mintage and steady collector demand. While it does not contain precious metal, collectors are willing to pay modest premiums for well-preserved examples, particularly when assembling complete date and mint sets. Prices can vary depending on condition, eye appeal, and market trends, with higher premiums for coins that are problem-free and evenly worn. Uncirculated examples and certified high-grade coins often command stronger prices, especially among registry set collectors. Errors and varieties add another layer of excitement and potential value to the 1993 D issue. Although modern minting technology reduces the frequency of dramatic errors, they still occur. Collectors have identified off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and occasional doubled die characteristics. Coins with visible doubling in the lettering or date can attract premium prices when authenticated. Major errors such as missing clad layers or dramatic misstrikes are rare, but highly desirable and can sell for substantial amounts when they appear on the market. Collector interest in the 1993 D. Kennedy half dollar is driven by its relatively low mintage, modern-date scarcity in high grades, and its role in completing Kennedy half dollar collections. Many collectors focus on building complete sets from 1964 to the present, and lower production modern issues often become challenging to locate in top condition. This dynamic increases long-term collectability and potential value appreciation. Historically, the 1993 D. Kennedy half dollar reflects a time when coin collecting was increasingly influenced by third-party grading, registry set competition, and greater public access to numismatic information. It represents the modern era of U.S. coinage, where quality control improved and collecting became more specialized and data-driven. For collectors, the 1993 D. Kennedy half dollar offers affordability, accessibility, and the potential for discovery, especially in the realm of errors and high-grade examples. Even in fine condition, it provides a tangible connection to early 1990s America and the continued legacy of President Kennedy on U.S. currency. 1998 Kennedy half dollar coin with mint mark D in fine condition. The 1998 Kennedy half dollar with the D mint mark reflects the late 1990s era of United States coinage, a time characterized by stable economic conditions, advancing minting technology, and an expanding collector community. By this point, the half dollar had become almost exclusively a collector and institutional coin, rarely encountered in everyday circulation. Most Americans had little direct interaction with half dollars, which contributed to limited wear on many examples and a growing focus on condition-based collecting. The Denver Mint produced approximately 61 million Kennedy half dollars in 1998. While this figure is higher than some early 1990s issues, it is still modest compared to the massive mintages of earlier decades. Many of these coins were distributed through banks or saved by collectors, and a significant number remain in relatively high grades today. Design elements remain unchanged from the classic Kennedy half dollar design. The obverse features the familiar left-facing portrait of President Kennedy with Liberty along the rim, "In God We Trust" split near the neckline, and the date 1998 below. The D mint mark appears above the date, identifying the coin as a Denver Mint issue. The reverse displays the presidential seal eagle with shield, olive branch, arrows, and surrounding stars, along with the inscriptions United States of America and half dollar. The coin is struck in copper-nickel clad composition, with the copper core visible along the edge. Improved minting techniques during this period often resulted in sharper strikes and more consistent quality compared to earlier decades, though contact marks from bulk handling can still affect condition. In fine condition, a 1998 D. Kennedy half dollar typically shows light wear, as many examples experienced minimal circulation. Kennedy's facial features remain well-defined, with slight smoothing on the highest points of the hair and cheek. The eagle's feathers on the reverse show minimal flattening, and the legends remain crisp and clear. Overall, fine-grade examples often appear attractive and well-preserved. Market value for a 1998 D. Kennedy half dollar in fine condition is generally modest, usually slightly above face value. Because the coin contains no silver and has a relatively healthy mintage, premiums are limited in circulated grades. However, collector interest supports steady demand, especially for those completing modern Kennedy sets. Higher premiums are seen for uncirculated coins, certified high-grade examples, and coins with exceptional eye appeal. Errors and varieties once again provide the most exciting opportunities for added value. Collectors have discovered off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and occasional doubled die characteristics in 1998 D issues. While dramatic errors are less common due to improved quality control, when they do appear, they can command strong premiums. Missing clad layer errors and significant misstrikes are particularly valuable and highly sought after by error collectors. Collector interest in the 1998 D. Kennedy half dollar is influenced by its role in modern set building and its availability in relatively high grades. Many collectors enjoy assembling complete runs of Kennedy half dollars by year and mint, and the 1998 D coin is an essential component of these collections. Registry set competition also drives demand for top-quality certified examples. Historically, the 1998 D. Kennedy half dollar reflects a period of economic stability and technological progress in minting. It illustrates how modern coinage balances efficiency, durability, and consistency while maintaining traditional design elements that honor national heritage. For collectors, the 1998 D. Kennedy half dollar offers accessibility, affordability, and the opportunity to explore modern varieties and condition-based collecting. Even in fine condition, it serves as a reminder that every coin, regardless of age, carries historical context and collectible potential. Whether pursued for its role in a complete set, its potential errors, or its connection to late 20th century American coinage, the 1998 D. Kennedy half dollar remains a meaningful and engaging part of the Kennedy half dollar series. 2001 Kennedy half dollar coin with mint mark D in fine condition. The 2001 Kennedy half dollar with the D mint mark represents a significant stage in the modern era of U.S. coinage, illustrating the continued evolution of the Kennedy half dollar as a collector-focused and institutional denomination rather than a coin widely used in everyday commerce. By the early 2000s, half dollars were rarely encountered in day-to-day transactions. Their primary distribution channels included banks, casinos, vending operations, and collectors' sets. Despite the decline in circulation, the series maintained a dedicated following among numismatists and enthusiasts who appreciate the coin's historical significance, classic design, and long-standing place in American culture. The 2001 D. Kennedy half dollar was struck at the Denver Mint, and production figures for this year were approximately 36 million coins. Compared to earlier decades, this is a modest mintage, reflecting both reduced demand and circulation and an emphasis on supplying collectors and institutional clients. Lower mintages in the modern era contribute to steady collector interest, particularly among those completing date and mint sets spanning the Kennedy series from 1964 to the present. The design of the 2001 D. Kennedy half dollar remains faithful to the iconic imagery first introduced in 1964. The obverse displays a left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. Liberty arcs along the top rim, while In God We Trust is split across the field near Kennedy's neckline. The date, 2001, is prominently displayed below the portrait, and the small D mint mark appears just above the date, clearly identifying it as a Denver Mint product. The reverse features Frank Gasparo's rendition of the presidential seal, with the heraldic eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, a shield on its chest, and a ring of stars surrounding the eagle. The inscriptions United States of America and half dollar complete the design. Compositionally, the 2001 D. Kennedy half dollar is struck in a copper-nickel clad format, with a visible copper core sandwiched between the outer nickel layers. The coin retains the silver-like appearance of earlier issues, but without any precious metal content, which keeps production costs manageable while maintaining the traditional look and feel collectors expect. In fine condition, the 2001 D. Kennedy half dollar shows light to moderate where consistent with circulation. The high points of Kennedy's hair, cheekbone, and jawline display minor flattening, while the eagle's feathers on the reverse are slightly smoothed. Despite this wear, all major design elements remain distinct and fully readable. Fine-grade examples retain aesthetic appeal and provide a reliable reference point for collectors completing circulated condition sets. Market value for the 2001 D. Kennedy half dollar in fine condition is generally modest due to its modern, non-silver composition and relatively higher availability compared to extremely low mintage older issues. Typically, these coins trade slightly above face value, with premiums largely influenced by condition, eye appeal, and collector demand. While not a high-value coin in circulated grades, the 2001 D still serves an essential role in modern-day collections, particularly for individuals striving to complete a comprehensive Kennedy half dollar series. errors and varieties offer the most intriguing potential for value enhancement. Even in the early 2000s, minting errors occasionally occurred. Collectors have documented off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, and minor double die effects in modern Kennedy halves. While dramatic errors are less frequent due to improved quality control, any verified misstrike can generate strong collector interest. Coins with missing clad layers, rotated dies, or significant misalignment are highly sought after and can command substantial premiums compared to standard circulated examples. Collector interest in the 2001 D. Kennedy half dollar is driven by several factors. Its lower mintage relative to older, mass-produced modern Kennedy gives it added scarcity, especially in higher grades. It is a key component for completing date and mint sets, which are popular among both casual collectors and serious numismatists. Registry set collectors, in particular, value coins from this era for their combination of modern minting quality, historical continuity, and manageable cost relative to older, silver-containing issues. Historically, the 2001 D. Kennedy half dollar represents the durability of the Kennedy design and the adaptability of the U.S. Mint in meeting evolving public and collector needs. By 2001, the half dollar had fully settled into its role as a collector-friendly and institutional coin, demonstrating how coins can maintain cultural and historical significance even when removed from widespread everyday circulation. This coin also embodies the enduring legacy of President Kennedy, whose portrait has graced the denomination for nearly 4 decades and continues to connect collectors to pivotal moments in American history. Overall, the 2001 D. Kennedy half dollar offers an accessible and affordable option for collectors seeking modern-date issues. Even in fine condition, it provides historical context, collectible appeal, and the potential for discovering rare era varieties. While its intrinsic metal value is minimal, its numismatic value comes from its place in the Kennedy series, its role in date and mint completion, and the ongoing appreciation for this iconic American coin. Whether used as a foundation for a modern Kennedy collection, a target for error hunting, or simply valued as a piece of history, the 2001 D. Kennedy half dollar remains a meaningful and collectible coin. And that wraps up our in-depth journey through today's collection of rare and valuable Kennedy half dollars, from the 1974 Philadelphia issue all the way to the 2001 Denver coin. Each of these coins tells a story, not just about President Kennedy's enduring legacy, but about the evolution of American coinage, changes in metal composition, and the ways collectors and investors have shaped the market over decades. Whether you're hunting for errors, completing a date and mint set, or simply appreciating the history in your hands, these Kennedy half dollars offer a fascinating window into the past and the present. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Coins Numismatic series, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next exploration of rare coins and their hidden treasures. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us which Kennedy half dollar is your favorite, or if you've ever found one that surprised you with its value. Keep collecting, keep discovering, and we'll see you in the next episode.